Hello everyone, this is another video about the mystery phenomenon, mostly in the United States and the UK, but there was a Japanese airport which was shut down for 1 hour owing to drone activities. My last post received interesting comments, and I asked one of the commentee if they were interested in more in-depth and detailed videos on the topic, and the response was yes, so I am happy to provide further analysis about this mystery drone phenomena. Wow. There are another reason for this too. Although I have a working hypothesis what this might be, and that still looks quite solid, I have to keep an open mind for other solutions as well. Therefore, in the coming couple of videos, I will provide some details about the theories what ufologists and experts gave us about what is happening and what has been happening in the States, in the UK and other parts of the world. And in this episode, first I will go through Steven Greer's theory, because he is the number one guy when it comes to UFOs and extraterrestrials. Well, just a brief note on my hypothesis, which is the professional military leadership in the United States, as part of the military-industrial complex, is now in a conflict with the weapons manufacturers. And Trump was favoring the weapons manufacturers. As he is a businessman, he naturally supports business rather than bureaucracy. And I wouldn't call those guys who I believe are responsible for the mystery drones the deep state, because it can be identified the closest military leadership who are aware of the various reverse engineering and crash retrieval projects. They are just the professional military, that's it. Now, in this regard, concerning the conflict between the manufacturers and the bureaucracy, there are two notes. The bureaucracy is always stronger because business is dependent on state orders and public procurements which they can win and generate huge revenue. So the people who orders any services, they are in charge. Therefore, the bureaucracy is stronger than the manufacturers in general. However, Trump, coming from the business background, changed the dynamics. This is the first note. The second note, concerning this theory, there has been an interesting development during the last days, which is Tucker Carlson tweeted a question. And the question was if all the military personnel who were discharged because they didn't take vaccinations during the pandemic should be rehired, reinstated in their jobs, and recompensed for their losses. It is what Trump might consider. Tucker Carlson tweeted it. I trust this is a genuine development in the whole saga, and this might be a favor for the military personnel, even for the professional military leadership. So there might be some background talks which may result in a truce between Trump and the weapons manufacturers and the bureaucrats. However, the phenomena did not yet stop, so we need to look for more pieces of evidence. I found something, but I need to dig deeper because I am not yet confident about the sources. It is a decrease of Pentagon orders for weapons manufacturers, and weapons manufacturers, Lockheed Martin, lost most of the state contracts. And also Michael Salla reported in September or October that Lockheed Martin wanted to come forward with a reverse engineer technology, but the CIA stopped them. So CIA, as part of the bureaucracy close to the military leadership, they stopped them. So the conflict was already coming up, but I am not yet 100% sure of the extent of that business conflict practically. Now, coming to the experts' analysis and Steven Greer. Steven Greer has spent more than 30 years directly researching UFOs and extraterrestrials, but from his early teenager years, he developed quite strong connections to them. He could meditate already when he was 18, and expanding his consciousness, he could make contact with extraterrestrials. Allegedly, he called in some aliens in the late 1970s, and that was a phenomenon which the Air Force couldn't explain, but because there was some radio transmission problems in the same day when he tried to make contact, and he believes he was responsible. I can't confirm, neither deny, but it's an interesting thing that he has very strong emotional bonds to the subject itself, and it is no wonder that he spent a lot of energy to research the topic itself. And during the Clinton years, he established the Disclosure Project, and by now the project, you can check it on drstevengreer.com. They have an archives that includes more than 700 whistleblower testimonies. It's fascinating. I mean, that's the largest database about the UFO topic. You haven't yet seen me drinking coffee during my chats, but actually I need to explain that's a cat cage. I have a wonderful tuxedo pussycat. She hates that cage because that means we are traveling. She hates travels, and most often we are traveling to the vet. Obviously she hates the vet too. Now, okay, coming back to Steven Greer. Steven Greer, as a trauma surgeon, he knows how the mind works and how consciousness works as well. So he developed the research into an experiment which could trigger close encounters of the fifth kind, when humans initiate contacts with aliens. Now that's I don't have experience. Okay, I can't say that. I don't exactly know his methods, but I believe it works. On the other hand, after more than 30 years of research in the topic, when you listen to Steven Greer talking, he has a lot of information in his brain. You can have the impression that yes, he is the number one guy in this topic. He has tons and tons of data in his brain, and he is willing to spell all the information to the audience. Now, this is actually also weakness with him, because when there's a straight question to him, it is very difficult to listen to him and understand what his response exactly is. Because let's say we have a sentence and practically all the elements of the sentence opens up a huge database in his mind, and he is willing to talk about them, and sometimes it is difficult to follow what he is actually discussing and how that is closely related to the topic. Now, this is his weakness, and also probably this stems a larger weakness with his theories, which is he has so many detailed data in his mind that he might not have developed an overview, a holistic and complex view of the whole subject in general. I will give you an example in the end of this video why I am certain this is the case. But yeah, well, for those who are interested in astrology, when I say that his Mercury, that is responsible for how the brain works and thinking and communication, his Mercury is in Gemini, and these people are like, sorry for this analogy, but this describes the best. When we have an encyclopedia and we just put the encyclopedia through a paper shredder, and when we ask a question, we just pull out one of the paper lines from the rubbish bin, and that's how their brain works. So practically the connection in between the dots don't exist, and sometimes I feel like Mr. Greer doesn't see the forest for the trees. So, but yeah, this is the most negative I am sharing about him. Otherwise, he is probably the most respectable guy in the topic. Now, he made 2 interviews recently what I could watch through. One of them is a longer one on Fly on the Wall with Dana Cravey and David Spade. 2 comedians made an interview with him, and it is more than 1 hour long. I had to review and rewatch the interview quite many times because I just lost all the arguments what Greer was talking about, and yesterday I got frustrated because when I watched it for the 5th time, that's when I noticed the huge contradiction in Greer's theory. I will come to that later. And there's a shorter interview on Newsmax. Both of these interviews can be found on Steven Greer's website, so you can check it out. I don't recommend the longer one. The shorter one gives a better understanding, also because below the video clip there's a short description which was edited by the journalist, and the journalist attempted to bring in some more sense into what was said during the interview. Therefore it is clearer. But yeah, the longer interview and the shorter one both say the same, which is Mr. Greer believes this drone phenomena is actually completely just the product of a group of criminals inside the government of the United States. Yeah, military leadership, and it also has a bureaucratic and a corporate side. So he doesn't distinguish between the corporates and the bureaucrats. Fair enough, yes, it is part of the problem that he doesn't see the big picture, but anyway. And soon he was predicting this since 1993 when he established his project, that eventually there would be an event that is faking an alien invasion, and this is what's happening now. Okay, I understand. I told what I think about faking an alien invasion. It's just not gonna be a credible source of fear for the globe to unite all humankind. It's out of the question. But anyway, it is happening according to Mr. Greer. Right. And the Disclosure Project, and it is happening because the Disclosure Project, Greer himself, is planning to hold a press conference soon when some new whistleblowers will come forward and provide evidence about the black sites where the weapons manufacturing, the reverse engineering, and the crash retriever programs are operated. So he believes this is quite a credible trigger to organize such a big event of the mystery drone sightings. Okay, and coming forward, Greer believes that this drone phenomena will pass away after the press conference and with the new government, because the new government, after that press conference, there is a hope the new government will put priority to disclosure and make transparency about these criminal crash retriever projects. Right, so the drones, the mystery drone phenomena simply just will go away. That's what he believes. That's his number one opinion. Okay, one big problem with this, believing that the whole phenomena are triggered by him organizing a press conference. Now that is a bit self-centered. I struggle to believe it. And still, my working hypothesis is more solid than this argument. That's what I believe. Okay, still, it might work, because I didn't say how the drone phenomena might end. I don't think it's gonna end shortly after the likely inauguration. It may be cancelled or delayed. There's still a chance. But yeah, it's okay. Coming back to Greer and his theory. Now, during the longer interview with Dana Carvey and David Spade, he said something else, that maybe the extraterrestrials got fed up by humanity because humanity had the capacity to shoot down extraterrestrial vehicles, and they just had enough of these losses and they have to make some order. And Greer makes the assumption that maybe we are close to the end game. Now, if he believes that that might be the case, will that modify what he thinks about the drone phenomena in general? Because although he emphasized that what I said earlier is what he thinks what's happening, but still he said this. He said that positive or aliens might have got fed up with humanity and they are coming to make some order and discipline us. Now this is a disturbing thing, and it's not clear whether this is already happening and what we see is already the presence of aliens in Greer's thinking or not. It's a bit disturbing, but anyway, going forward, and coming to another problem what I mentioned earlier, that it seems Greer doesn't see the big picture. Dana Carvey asked Greer flat out, what is the main goal of the criminal organization Greer talked about? And Dana offered many options. Is it world dominance? do they just want to make billions of dollars, or are they just psychopaths or sociopaths? And Greer's response, practically I can tell it word by word. He said that they are, some of them are psychopaths, some of them are sociopaths, and they can pull up a lot of hoax. And from that point on, he goes on describing many dirty tricks, how people get blackmailed, bribed, what have you. And this was his response for the main question: what is the main goal of this criminal organization? Practically he didn't answer the question. So we may ask, does he know at all? And this is a huge gap. Without identifying the possible purpose of this criminal organization, we can't really say too much about them. On a secondary level, Greer believes this was in preparation for more than 70 years. Now, if they are psychopaths or sociopaths, they can't keep discipline for more generations. It's another contradiction in Greer's theory. So after all, his research is highly relevant. Practically every sentence he says is data mining. Many details are there. It's worth going and looking up what he says. For example, just by the way, he says a location, White Sands, and I didn't even know that's where the Roswell incident happened, the White Sand Desert, and that's where most of the first nuclear tests were happening too. So it's an amazing database. It's important to look and to watch him, but altogether his theories have significant problems. Now, going forward with these analyses, there are 3 or 4 further experts who might be worth considering. One of them is Michael Salla. He is a university professor. He just got retired, and he did not only check whistleblowers' testimonies, but he tried to analyze the contactees' explanations and what they had to say. And he was focusing on the common points in all of these details. So he has a broader view of the topic, not just whistleblowers, but also those who might have been abducted, had contacts with aliens either through dreams or meditation. So he has a more complex view on the topic. His theories look better, and then I will describe some elements of John De Souza. He is an FBI whistleblower. He also predicted this event. He didn't say exactly when it was about to happen, but yeah, he is also important to analyze. And maybe I will go into some of the more spiritual and speculative, I can't say experts, but because they have significant expertise in the topic, relevant figures. For example, Elena Danan, who provided another view about what is happening. So stay tuned. Have a lovely day. I hope you had a lovely Christmas, and see you soon.